Forget the grocery store prices you see today. The real inflation hitting you in 2026 isn't just about things getting more expensive, it's about the fundamental, irreversible decay of your money's buying power that's already been baked into the cake. What if I told you that the economic decisions made years ago are now set to make your 2026 paycheck worth significantly less, no matter how hard you work, even if the numbers on your bank statement stay exactly the same? You're busting your butt today, sacrificing, saving for a future that feels more uncertain than ever. Maybe it's that elusive down payment for a house, the soaring cost of your kid's education, or simply the peace of mind that comes with a comfortable retirement. You meticulously put dollars aside, believing they're growing, patiently waiting for their moment to be unleashed. But here's the chilling reality unfolding as we hurtle towards 2026, those future dollars you're saving are quietly being siphoned off, not by overt taxes or direct spending, but by a stealthy, systemic force that makes them weaker and weaker every single day. It's a silent erosion of your future self, where the value you expect to have tomorrow is subtly stolen today. This isn't some far-fetched prediction, it's the inevitable consequence of how our financial system is designed to handle mountains of debt and the ever-present need for economic growth, often at the expense of currency stability. To truly grasp this, let's ditch the fancy economic terms and think about money as a claim ticket. Imagine the entire economy as a massive, bustling concert venue, and all the tangible goods and valuable services within it, the cars, the houses, the food, the haircuts, the Netflix subscriptions, are the limited seats. Your money is simply a ticket that grants you the right to claim one of those seats. For years, the concert organizers, governments and central banks have been quietly, and sometimes very loudly, printing more and more tickets. They do this not because the venue suddenly got bigger or because there are miraculously more seats, but for a whole host of other reasons, perhaps to cover the staggering cost of maintaining the venue, to stimulate ticket sales during a lull, or to keep ticket holders happy during tough times by simply handing out more tickets, loans, and stimulus checks. Initially, things seemed fine. More tickets might even mean more people can theoretically go to the concert, boosting the feeling of prosperity. But eventually, a critical mass is reached. There are now far more tickets floating around than there are actual, finite seats. What happens next is a fundamental law of economics playing out right before our eyes, even if we don't consciously see it happening to our bank balance. The individual value of each ticket plummets. Everyone has tickets, so vendors, the providers of those precious seats, start demanding exponentially more tickets for the exact same seat. Your ticket, the one in your pocket or bank account, hasn't changed its face value. It still says $100 or whatever. But its power to claim a seat, its real-world buying power, has been silently, relentlessly eroded. This isn't just about the current prices you see at the checkout, this is about the future impact of past, unprecedented ticket printing, an impact that reaches its full, unsettling conclusion in periods like 2026. Did you know that since the start of the 2020 pandemic, global central banks and governments injected trillions upon trillions of new currency into the financial system? This wasn't just physical cash, it was vast quantities of digital money, created through various mechanisms like quantitative easing and direct government spending, far exceeding the growth in actual productive goods and services. This massive expansion of the ticket supply isn't a future event, it's a foundational past event whose full, profound effect on future buying power is still actively unfolding, like a slow-motion avalanche towards 2026. Here's the true counterintuitive punch to the gut that most people miss. Most people think inflation is solely a sign of economic overheating, too much excited demand chasing too few shiny goods. But sometimes, inflation is less about overwhelming economic strength and more about deep-seated economic necessity. It can be a deliberate, though unstated, and politically unpalatable, strategy to manage overwhelming national debt. Think about it this way: if a government owes trillions of dollars to its creditors, and the value of those dollars subtly, steadily declines over time, then the real burden of that debt also effectively shrinks. It's like paying back a gargantuan loan with increasingly weaker, less valuable currency. For every new dollar the government prints, or digitally creates and injects into the system, it's essentially taking a tiny, almost imperceptible sliver of value from every dollar you hold in your savings account or earn in your paycheck. It's a silent, almost invisible wealth transfer, often from diligent savers and those on fixed incomes, to the largest debtors in the economy, like governments themselves. Did you know that throughout history, particularly after major wars or severe economic crises, governments have frequently resorted to policies that implicitly or explicitly use inflation to inflate away their massive debts? It's not a new, cunning trick, it's a time-tested, albeit ethically questionable, strategy that quietly transfers wealth and responsibility from one segment of society, often the future, to another. It's a way of balancing the books without raising taxes or cutting spending in politically unpopular ways, making the problem seem smaller by shrinking the value of the problem itself. So, what does this deeply ingrained mechanism mean for how you think about your money in the run-up to 2026 and beyond? It means that simply saving money in a traditional bank account, letting it sit there in plain dollars, might not be the neutral or even positive act you assume it is. If your money is, metaphorically speaking, like an ice cube slowly melting in the sun, then passively holding on to it means knowingly accepting that it will shrink in real value. This understanding isn't about fostering panic, it's about inviting you to fundamentally shift your perspective, to think beyond just the numerical figure displayed in your bank account. The real, crucial question in an environment like this becomes, what assets truly hold their value, or better yet, grow in real purchasing power faster than the underlying currency itself is depreciating? This isn't about impulsively chasing the hottest, riskiest stocks you hear about on social media, it's about recalibrating your entire financial mindset. It's moving from how much money do I have, to a much more sophisticated inquiry, how much buying power do I genuinely possess, and how can I strategically preserve or even grow that power in a world where the currency itself is constantly losing steam? It means recognizing that in an era where inflation is potentially a systemic necessity, merely waiting and watching might be the single most expensive thing you can do for your future self. If wealth isn't just about how much money you have, but what that money can truly buy, then what will you truly own in 2026?